Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this lesson, we're going to do a quick overview of Tailwind, kind of show you around the dashboard, and then we're going to manually upload a single pin. We will do the browser extension upload method in another video because there are multiple ways to do that. So let's go over to our dashboard. So when you log into Tailwind, this is what's going to come up. And if you don't know this already, so the link is actually in the text of this course to sign up for Tailwind. When you do sign up, it's free, and it remains free until you have pinned 1,000 pins. Once you reach 1,000, you will have to upgrade to a paid subscription. So if you've gotten your free subscription by going through my link, when it gets time for you to upgrade, you will have a $15 credit to apply to your upgrade. And I do believe the standard upgrade for the standard account is about $9.99 a month. So when you multiply that by 12 and then take $15 off. So I just wanted to make sure you understand that when you do sign up, it is free up to 1,000 pins. All right, so here is your main dashboard. We'll talk about analytics in another tutorial, but this is going to show you your top 3 boards. So this means the board where your people pinning from that board, repinning those pins in ratio to how many pins are on that board. That's what's going to show here. And that's really important when it comes to understanding your analytics to see what kind of content you should be promoting as an affiliate. All right, so if anyone has commented on pins, it'll be here, and you simply click respond and then give them a message back. It'll tell you how you're doing on gaining followers. All right, so over here, we'll do tribes in a whole nother lesson. But we're going to click on publish. So here, we'll start here on scheduled. This is where it's going to show all of the pins you currently have scheduled out. Time saving is the purpose of Tailwind, and so spending maybe an hour once a week, once every 2 weeks, pinning out for the next week or so. That way you're not having to come in here every single day and do it. That's the whole purpose of these tools. So you can set how many pins go out each day. I have mine set between 30 and 45. Tailwind actually tells you the optimal times for the pins to go out. And that is based on the traffic history to your Pinterest account, the times a day by time zone, actually, that pinners are actually pinning the stuff in that category. So, you know, it might be 10 p.m. for food stuff, but it might be 7 p.m. for fitness stuff, if that makes sense. So Tailwind actually does all of that analytic stuff for you in determining when you need to pin stuff. So as you can see, I have all of today filled up. I'm actually behind because I've been working on this course, but I will probably go in tomorrow and schedule to where all of this will be filled out till about 5 to 7 days out is typically what I do. And also, we've mentioned this before, your ratio of your affiliate pins to the other stuff that you're pinning should be about 80-20. So 80% other people's content, 20% your pins. And so that's not like a definitive number, that's just a ballpark estimate. All right, so let's come over here. So let's just do this really quick. In your schedule, this is where you tell it how many times, how many pins you want to send out per day. And so when you do generate new smart schedule, it'll ask you how many times do you want to pin per day. You type in 40, and so it'll go based off of that. Certain days, certain times, obviously more high volume pinning than others. Weekdays versus weekends. So it's not always going to be an exact number. If you put 45, you might have 50 on Sunday and 38 on Friday. But again, Tailwind has figured all that out for you. The green are the ones that are based off my time. These the ones in white with the green letters are additional ones that you can add in. And these are things that Tailwind has said, this is a high, hover over it. Your pins often receive a high engagement at this time. So all you would have to do is click on this and it'll add another square to your grid that was right there. All right, so let's go ahead and upload a pin. So this is where we created a pin, we saved it to a board, saved the image itself to a file on our computer, and now we want to schedule it. I personally do not schedule them manually this way because it is a little more time consuming, but I want to show you just so you know how to do it. So these here that show up are just recommendations based on your pinning history. You can totally add these to your queue by putting a board name in here that you want it to go to. I have a delicious desserts board, so I would just click on that here. And oops, where's my D's? And then add it to queue, and it'll put it over here. But you can totally ignore them. They're just there as recommendations. So we're going to go ahead and upload an image. So the one we're going to do today is for my wedding board. I created this in one of the previous videos, and I have not shared it on any of the other boards yet, aside from the one we did in the video. So we'll click it here, and you'll see it's going to show up and it's going to be empty. And what I mean by empty is there's no description, and right here you can actually change this. It's still loading. So this is literally just a file we uploaded from the computer. So all the stuff that we added to it when we were in Pinterest is not going to be there. So you'll want to have your Pinterest open in another tab. And so here's the pin that I did in a previous video. And so what you're going to do is just click on the little pencil, and all the description, the URL for that pin, everything is going to be there. So let's go ahead and copy the description, and then we'll paste it in here. And then the URL has Girl Bosses Rock here because my Pinterest account is actually connected to my blog, and so it's automatically going to put that in here. But you can change that, so just highlight it and erase it, hop back over here and copy the URL and paste it. And so now it says share a sale. So now the pin's ready to go. You have to figure out what board you want to put it on. I have a lot of boards that are group boards, so I'm going to add it to just 2 boards for the purpose of this tutorial, but you will add it to as many that you like. So I'm going to do my Girl Bosses Rock Beginners. Now you'll see here it popped up with the yellow kind of exclamation point. When you're doing affiliate pins, like this is Share a Sale, this is not a Shop Style Collective pin. Share a Sale is the web address. So when the URL for it is pretty standard. So if I'm pinning another one too here, it's going to say you've already pinned something from Share a Sale. But I have pinned other affiliate pins. I have not pinned this particular product. So if you have a blog and you are doing a pin for, like say you do 2 different pins for the same blog post, you'll have this thing come up, and that's totally okay. Just ignore it. But if you have recently pinned this exact pin and you don't remember it, this will let you know also, hey, you've already pinned this, and you can go in and look at the board to see if it's already there. You just don't want the same image showing up right next to each other, in the same board when someone goes to it. All right, so tribes, we'll talk about that later. Let's add one more here just to show you. We'll do pin anything. These are group boards. This one is mine. This is one that I'm in. All right, so anytime you add more than one, you don't want to just hit add queue, because then it's going to fill it in the very next 2 empty spots. And so when it goes out on your Pinterest feed, you're going to have this image and then this image again, and that just doesn't look good. So you want to space them out. So all you're going to do is click on use interval. You can set it for whatever you want. For this one, I'll just use 5 days. If you had, say, 7 different boards on here, you could schedule it out every 3 to 5 days. You could do it, every 15 days. You really kind of decide. Some people stick with the 8-day spread, but it just really depends on how often, if you don't have a lot of boards and your boards don't have a lot of content in them, I would space this out a lot further, because your board is so new. You put it here, and then in 5 days, how much more content have you added to that board that this board or this pin showing up again won't look like it's been spammed? So you pick your duration here, what time you want it to start. I just leave it at what it shows on here already. You can also have it, oops, click on that again. Optimize it or an exact time. Just leave it at open time slots and it'll fill it in the next time slot. Today, or this one will start at 7 p.m., 7:01 tomorrow, and then 5 days from that it'll pin it again. So once you've picked out the duration between pins, hit set interval and schedule, and then it'll pop it in over here. So let's reload and you'll see it really quick. There it is right there. And so it's ready to go, and then 5 days from there it'll show up again. So that is how you manually enter or manually upload a pin from your computer. Really quick, I want to show you board lists. And this is another, again, the whole point is to save time. So if you have, a few of your own boards as well as some group boards that are on your account, and you want to schedule this one pin out on like 10 different boards, well, it's kind of a pain to go in and add each one, going down your list. That takes a little time. So you can categorize these, whatever your board niches are. I have a pets board. So in here, this is my pet group board, my dog and pets group board. I will also add in here my personal board, which is pet tips and resources. By the way, green is group, blue is a personal board, if you didn't figure that out already. And by the way, if you have private boards, you cannot, it does not like it. It might pin to it, but usually you'll get an error message. So don't try to pin from private boards and don't try to pin to private boards. Okay, so basically you add all these to this board list, and then when you're in the drafts and scheduling and you click on this, the word pets is going to come up as an option for me to choose. And so when I choose that, it's going to throw all these in there for me to where I'm not individually adding each one. So as you start gaining more boards and start really pinning, especially if you have multiple types of stuff you're pinning, you see I have for blog, I blog as well as do my affiliate marketing. So I have a lot of boards related to blogging and business stuff. And so one click and it adds it to all of them. And then you do the interval and space it out as far as how long between each pin. I have one for money. And, if you had a post that or a product and it didn't necessarily fit into all of these, all you have to do once you've added it to that, pin itself, just minus the ones out. Or if there's another board that you wanted to add, you can add that as well. So I just wanted to show you that really quick. So that's all for this lesson. We will jump over to the next lesson, which is how to pin to Tailwind using the browser extension. So we will be right back.